Hey friend, welcome to Self-Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. You're listening to episode 136 of Self-Transformed. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. All right, we're almost there. It's only January 74th today, right? Longest month ever. Hey, just a quick little tip for you. I was talking about this in my Orange Theory classes I was coaching this weekend. I know January and February can be a really gray and cold time for a lot of folks, depending on where you live. I'm here in the Midwest in Indiana, so it is cold. And I think we're getting a lot of snow later this week, which I'm really excited about. But make sure you're doing things to take care of not only your physical health, but your mental health this time of year. The winter blues are real. We all get down sometimes this time of year, so make sure you're getting some natural vitamin D from that sunlight, taking care of yourself so you can show up for others. Okay, we are coming into the month of love, February. I have quite a few love-themed episodes coming up for you, and I have a loved theme mini workshop for the month coming up this Wednesday, February 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern in the free Facebook community. You can go to bit.ly/self-transformed-fam. There's a link in the show notes for you as well. If you'd love to join us, I would love for you to join us and learn how to make more time for your partner. This is something I personally need to work on. It's stuff I've been talking with my girls in STU as they've been going through. They're in their final week. I'm so proud of them. I'll give you more info on that here soon too. And it has to be an intentional priority in your life to make that time with your spouse. So y'all, I do these monthly mini workshops every month, obviously, and they're 15 minutes or less. I know you're super busy, so you can come in, learn a little bit. If you can't join us live, that's okay. I'll have the replay posted in the guide section there in the group, so you can replay it at any time when it's convenient for you. You're also able to look at previous workshops and some worksheets that I've created. That way you're able to start taking action. I want you to take action so much because I know I have listened to podcasts for years. I've listened to books, read books on personal development, but then I wasn't doing anything with it. Once I started taking action though, girl, like it is like a snowball effect. The momentum you get, it's amazing. It's everything. So join us for the workshop. There might be a very special surprise at the end of the workshop, maybe a discount on STU, Self-Transform You, my signature program. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So make sure you join us or watch the replay before the next round of Self-Transform You launches, which P.S. that is launching on Monday, February 14th. What a wonderful Valentine's Day gift to you, friend. A way to show yourself self-love, which I know is kind of hard to do sometimes. But this is my signature program. I'm so excited. I've revamped it over the last year, gotten so much client feedback, and I have just crossed all of my T's, dotted all my I's, really brought it in tightly to what are the core needs of the person taking this course, that busy working mom who wants to make herself a priority. You want to take care of your health, But if you put one more thing on your to-do list, your head might just explode, right? So we back it up just a little bit and we take you through habit strategy. You know, I geek out on habits. I love it because it's what has helped me have my own transformation. It's helped my clients have their own transformations as well. To be able to consistently show up and take care of your health. Y'all, it's that snowball effect that I was just talking about. Once you gain that momentum, the hill is endless. You're never going back, okay? So STU launches on Monday, February 14th. We'll go through week by week. You'll get a one-on-one call with me to really go over your goals, make sure you're understanding the program. You'll also have weekly texting from me. I'll be sending you some pump-up text, checking in with you. You can text me back if you have any questions. A lot of girls added on an extra habit hacking call as well, just so they can, a lot of them did it at the beginning and like at the end of STU, which I thought was a really great idea on their part as well. So you can go to selftransformu, it's just the letter u.com to learn more. Reserve your spot. I only take 10 ladies every month. That is it. That's all I have the capability and the bandwidth to do because I have done the work and I know I don't want to overextend myself. Okay, so go to selftransformu.com and I'll see you at our workshop this Wednesday the 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't join us live, watch the replay, girl, because I got a discount code in there for you for STU. Okay, let's get into today's episode. I am curious, do you know your love language? This is something that I feel like was really popular a few years ago. I did the quiz. I read the book with my husband. Well, he didn't read the book. He did the quiz with me. And it's something I feel like I need to go back to and remind myself. And as my kids have gotten older, I've realized what their love language is. And I actually had them take the love language quiz to confirm it. And it did. But if you're not sure what I'm talking about, The 5 Love Languages is a book by Gary Chapman. I'll make sure to include a link in the bio if you're interested in checking out the book. But pretty much everyone has these ways that they communicate, they receive love. Like it lights them up. You know, like when somebody does something for you, it could be big or small, and you're just like, oh my gosh, so you're speaking my love language, right? You've heard that before. But according to Gary Chapman, there are 5 love languages. So it could be words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And there's secondary ones too. Like you could have one be words of affirmation and the other one be like physical touch. Okay. So that's actually what my top 2 are, which I'll get into that in a minute. But knowing your partner's love language will help you discern how they show their love so you can feel more appreciated. Right? You want to be able to cultivate this relationship with your loved one, your partner, where you're just not roommates in the house. You have a very deep connection. We crave connection with our partner. I mean, sit back for a second and just think of this. I'm going over this on the workshop on Wednesday as well, a little bit deeper when we're talking about how to make more time with your partner. But remember why you married them. What do you love about them? What do you miss about them, right? What do you miss? You know, sometimes I feel like I say to my husband, I'm like, I missed you. I feel like I've barely seen you this week because we get so caught up in, oh, I got to run the kids here. I got to do this. And oh, this deadline for work is due. Oh, I got to do this. And I'm planning out the calendar, da, 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 da. And then you just have no time for them. So you have to be intentional with showing them your appreciation in the way that they receive that best. But the same goes for them as well. Okay, so I'm going to obviously get into some habit hacks around showing your appreciation via your partner's love language and receiving that as well. But I want to tell you what my love language is, my family's love language is, if you don't mind. So mine is words of affirmation. Like I said, my secondary one is physical touch. So I love it if my husband is like, dang, babe, I like your butt in those jeans. Or, hey, you're doing a really good job. We really appreciate it. We don't know what we would do without you. Like, that makes my heart soar. However, that's not one of my husband's strengths, unfortunately. I have to remind my husbands at time to be like, hey, babe, remember my love language is words of affirmation. I know you love me. I know you appreciate me. But hearing it makes me feel it even deeper. So it's something he has to be very intentional about. And all honesty, he has to work a little harder at it. I don't know if anyone's love language is ever the same. I don't recall. I haven't read the book in a couple of years, but that would obviously make it really a lot easier. Now, my husband's love language is quality time. And I have to be mindful of getting off my phone if he's sitting down, like chit-chatting with me. If I was already on my phone and he just comes up and starts talking to me, I have to like snap out of it, put my phone down, and have my eyes glued on him so he knows that I am dialed and we have quality time together. And he has to remind me about this sometimes, and sometimes I have to remind him about that too. Like, hey, you're wanting to have quality time together. You need to put your phone down too. Also, time together after the kids go to bed is super important to him. He seems to get a little, he doesn't seem to, he does. He gets a little tense, like when we're trying to get the kids to bed and it's past their bedtime and he's like, come on, I want to get them to bed so we can spend some time together. But it's work. It's work. All relationships are work, right? So we have to work hard at it. We have to be intentional. And we've also had to communicate those needs and those love languages to each other. So this is really great information for us to know. I kind of already had a feeling what his was, but it was really great to have that data back, right? I'm all about getting that data and then working with it, right? And like I mentioned earlier, even knowing your kids' love language can be super useful. So my boys are 13 and 10. My oldest, his is quality time, which I totally knew that was going to be his. I love just going and sitting in his room with them and just trying to chit chat. You know, teenagers, it's very tricky. Like, am I allowed in here? Are they like, bleh, get out of here, mom? Or they, all right, cool, you can hang out. He's really into playing guitar, so he doesn't mind if I come in and listen to him and be like, oh, cool, that's really great. Or if he wants me to video him. My youngest son, Tyler, his is actually receiving gifts and physical touch. It was like a tie. And I seriously thought physical touch would have been his top one. He is such a touchy-feely kid. He loves hugs. He loves back rubs. He loves me to scratch his back. He just loves to be loved physically. But he also likes to be shown little gifts. And that doesn't mean like they're what's the word I'm looking for? Superficial or wanting, things. I think for him, it's just one of those appreciation things where he gets something, because he is the type of kid, he has so many freaking treasures in his room. And I say treasures with quotation marks because he sees anything as a treasure, okay? A leaf, a rock, a picture I made. He gives me gifts too, because that's his love language. The other day he brought home an origami book from the library for school, and he was creating like little origami hearts for me and giving them to me, and they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They're super sweet. They're in my office now, but for him, that's how he shows his love as well. So I think that's really super important to keep in the forefront of your mind, just to help grow your relationship with your kids too. And I know it can be a little tricky even with boys and teenagers, and I'm learning as I go with that. So, let's get into how to really habit hack your way into expressing and receiving love via your partner or your kids' love language. I'm going to focus mainly on your partner, but you can go to, you can just Google like the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. You can go to his website and find the quiz there, and it allows you to pick like I'm an adult, I'm a teenager, or I'm a kid, and the questions are different based on those age ranges. So let's talk about how to make this a habit. I have 5 tips here for you today. So number 1, so if you're using your loved one's love language, make a calendar reminder in your phone to remind you, hey, have I been intentional with their love language today? It may seem a little silly to do that, but if you're like me, I got 20,000 tabs open in my head, friend, and sometimes that can just slip my mind. So even if it's just a little reminder, like halfway through your day or at the end of your work day, have I been intentional with my loved one's love language today? It's a quick little reminder there for you to cue you into communicating with them via their love language, whether it's, hanging out with them, if it's quality time, asking them, how their day was, showing them your appreciation via words of affirmation. It's going to make a big difference. So actually set a little reminder. It's your little cue or trigger, like we talk about in that habit loop that we've talked about so much in my courses and programs. Number 2, communicate. Communicate. Tell them why your love language is important and give some suggestions on how they can help you feel loved. Like I said, my husband is not very good at words of affirmation, and I have to remind him sometimes, like, hey, babe, this is why I like this. Here are the type of things I like to hear. But make sure, tell them, you're like, hey, I don't want you to, actually, say these things word for word. You want them to be genuine if they genuinely feel something. Like for me with words of affirmation, like oh my gosh, it was so cute. This morning at church, I had like this really fun headband on, and we were waiting to pick up Dylan from the middle school area, and this little middle school girl walks by. She goes, oh my gosh, your hair is so cute. I love your headband. And I was like, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. It's just that really nice feeling. And I turned to my husband and I was like, hey, it's little things like that. I mean, he's not going to tell me he likes my headband, but even if he's like, babe, your hair looks so pretty today, like I would just be like, oh. Okay, so I communicated with him based off that. And kudos to that middle school girl. I hope she's doing that for other middle school girls, not just like to adults, because that was amazing. Amazing. Okay, number 3. I just found out about this. I'm going to download the app. I'll let you guys know what I think of it. There's a Love Nudge app from the official Love Language brand, like the Love Language book. So I guess it actually sends you ideas that you can do for your partner's love language to show them that love or appreciation. So, I know we got a little ding, 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 dings going on, but this is important to help communicate or cultivate that relationship with your loved ones. So you can go Google that as well and find that. Number 4, accountability partners. Okay, check in with your partner and say like, hey, how am I doing? How am I doing? The more you do it, the easier it becomes to open up. If I'm just like, keeping closed off and I'm not communicating with them, it's going to be really hard to have that first conversation. But the more you do it, the more easier it is going to be. So keeping each other accountable, you've already communicated with them. You have some cues set up. That way you're able to really, really, really cultivate that relationship even more and have that open line of communication moving forward. So, you're holding them accountable to speaking their love language to you, and they're holding you accountable as well. So that way no one's feelings get hurt when they're like, okay, babe, you're not doing a good job. We're holding up your end of the bargain. You guys are working together as a team. And then lastly, number 5, consistency and perseverance. This takes work. This takes a lot of work, friend, and it's going to take time for you to, get it right. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be genuine and from your heart, because you care about and love your partner so much that you want to be able to show them love in the best way that they receive it via their love language. Okay, so gang, as we're heading into the month of February, I hope you go look into information about the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. Like I said, I'll include a link in the show notes. You can find the quizzes. You can find that Love Nudge app I was talking about. But open up your heart, communicating, showing your love language and receiving love, not just with your partner, but with your kids as well, is really, really important. It's really important. We crave connection. It's actually a very high form of self-care, right? And if you're not doing the work, if you're not making some intentional priorities in your life to make your loved ones at the top of your list, then what are you doing? Okay, they're very, very important. After God, after taking care of yourself, they're there waiting to receive love from you, and they want to give that love back to you as well. Okay, so I hope you found today's episode useful. Hey, if you are interested in joining me for the next round of STU on Monday, February 14th, text me the fire emoji at 1-773-904-2157. You can text me and sign up for my weekly pump-up texts. That way you're able to get some extra motivation and inspiration texted right to you, because I know sometimes my newsletter may get blocked or get in your spam box, or you just don't want to open your email because you got 20,000 emails. I totally get it. This way you're able to communicate with me a little more directly as well. But text me that fire emoji if you want a little bit more information about STU or if you have questions for me. Okay? So I can't wait to see you this Wednesday the 2nd. At 12 p.m. Eastern in my Facebook community. Link is in the show notes. I can't wait to talk about these tips and actually me take action too for these tips on how to make more time for your partner. If you can't join us live, watch the replay in the guide section there in the Facebook group, and make sure you watch to the end. 15 minutes or less, gang, I promise. But at the end, I will share a special way that you can get a discount on the next round of STU. Okay? Sending you lots of love, gang. We made it. We made it through January. Come on, February. Let's go. I'll see you guys later this week. Hey, girl. Well, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at EmilyNichols22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.